Elon Musk has owned the night sky for years, but Jeff Bezos is mounting a multi-billion-dollar assault on Starlink's throne. As deployment deadlines collide with low Earth orbit realities, Amazon's Project Kuiper is racing to challenge SpaceX's orbital monopoly. Is vertical integration enough to topple an established empire? The stakes couldn't be higher. SpaceX has built a constellation of over 10,000 active satellites, establishing unprecedented orbital density. Meanwhile, Amazon has embarked on an aggressive launch sprint, leveraging heavy-lift rockets across multiple providers to build out its operational shells. Early deployment windows are critical, because in low Earth orbit, early movers lock down vital frequency allocations, orbital planes, and regulatory landing rights across the globe. Under the hood, these two tech titans are betting on fundamentally different architectural philosophies. Starlink relies on a mature inter-satellite laser mesh network that routes data directly through space, bypassing terrestrial fiber and minimizing reliance on local ground infrastructure. Kuiper, on the other hand, couples its high-capacity K-band satellites with deep integration into Amazon Web Services. By routing traffic straight into AWS edge computing centers, Amazon aims to offer an ultra-low latency gateway for cloud-native enterprise and government workloads. On the ground, the battle comes down to hardware economics, SpaceX's self-orienting phased array dishi versus Amazon's highly compact, low-cost customer terminals designed for rapid, friction-free distribution. When it comes to getting hardware into space, the launch bottleneck defines the battlefield. SpaceX's internal launch capacity and high launch frequency have completely commoditized orbital access, allowing Starlink to expand at near zero marginal launch costs. Amazon has had to build a massive diversified launch portfolio spanning United Launch Alliance, Ariane Group, Blue Origin, and even SpaceX itself. While relying on next-generation vehicles like Vulcan Centaur and New Glenn introduces schedule dependencies, Amazon's Redmond production facilities are scaling automated throughput to supply satellites as fast as pads become available. Financially, this isn't just a space race, it's a war of ecosystems. Starlink already commands billions in revenue from over 5 million subscribers and dominates lucrative high-margin markets like maritime, commercial aviation, Wi-Fi, and defense communications. But Amazon possesses an unmatched consumer dynamic. By leveraging its global retail footprint, Amazon can subsidize hardware costs and potentially bundle satellite broadband directly into Amazon Prime subscriptions, drastically lowering the barrier to entry in developing markets and the global south. Yet both giants face growing friction from an increasingly crowded orbit. With tens of thousands of satellites operating in low Earth orbit, space debris management, atmospheric re-entry safety, and optical light pollution have become critical global concerns. As the market accelerates toward consolidation, the question isn't just whether two space mega-constellations can peacefully coexist. It's whether Amazon's cloud dominance and consumer reach can overcome SpaceX's unassailable launch frequency. Whichever provider wins this industrial battle will own the ultimate backbone of global internet for the decade to come. Which satellite provider do you think will control global bandwidth by 2030, Starlink or Amazon? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow tech enthusiasts, and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you never miss an orbital breakdown. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.